Welcome to Nordic Malayali. Today we have with us Prajakta Sule. Prajakta is an early childhood educator. Let's know more about education in Finland from Prajakta.
The children are different. Every day they come with a different attitude, a different mood.
Yes.
So it's like a learning every day. If I notice something with a child, I have to talk with my colleagues first. If they also agree, we talk to our managers. If the managers also agree, then we talk to we tell the parents also, and if the parents agree, then everything goes ahead. If we feel like, okay, no, this child needs some help, there is something wrong, then the daycares approach this social service. And the social service doesn't mean like, okay, you call them and then the same evening they come and take your child away. No, it's not. It doesn't work like that.
Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Can you give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Okay. So, hi, I'm Prajakta Sule. I've been living in Finland for more than 16 years now, and 10 years I've been working in early childhood education and care in an English daycare in Espoo. And I'm here with my family, my husband and my daughter. So she went through all the Finnish education system from daycare to school to Lukio to university. So yeah, pretty much a glimpse of everything I have.
So can you tell us how you became an early childhood educator? Did you have prior experience in India?
No, from India I didn't have any experience.
Okay.
Like my basic education was in environmental science. So I used to work for an environmental firm, and then after marriage everything changed. We came to Finland, and after coming to Finland I realized like language is the major restriction to work other than IT field.
Yeah.
And I thought like it's better to change the field because I didn't want to work in lab anymore.
Okay.
So, and early childhood education is something that I was interested in, and so I first did this Finnish language course, which is a mandatory one.
Yeah.
In a way, like it's good to know the language.
Yes.
And then I got this course in Omnia. Luckily, it was a English course that time.
Okay.
So it was like 2.5 to 3 year course, and basically it is called Lahi Hoitaya, like practical nurse education. But when I studied the course, the main focus was on children's and youth care and education.
Okay.
So there they have this elderly care and child care and rehabilitation, different courses. In Finnish they have more options to do a specific field or choose a specific stream, but in English we had a little of everything.
Okay.
And then the main part was with childcare.
Okay.
So after that it was a good decision, I think, and after that I started working for Seure. Like it is what you can say, they hire people and then they send people as substitutes, or they send you to different schools or different places. And I used to go to Finnish daycares and some English schools to substitute. For 6 months I did that job till I got this job, a permanent job in the daycare.
Okay.
Yeah, I started as an assistant teacher there,
Okay.
and slowly I grew.
So did you have to do any course in between to go up, like to teach in preschool and things like that?
I did not. Or all those courses are basically in Finnish.
Okay.
So if your Finnish language is really good, then you can always do those courses, and they have it like they call it oppisopimus.
Yes.
So you study and you work at the same time. But it is in Finnish, and honestly I didn't have any patience to study in Finnish.
Okay.
So like with the work is so strenuous, and then again you come home, you have your home life, and then you study in Finnish. So it's a lot. I'm not so.
Okay.
But yes, if you do those courses, it is good. Like now I'm doing a course from Lauria, and it is a 1 year course with early childhood education.
Okay.
So it is beneficial, and if you are more self-motivated and you show that you want to learn, you want to work, you use your common sense in the right place, then it is not a difficult job to do.
Okay. Since is there a difficulty to get into the Finnish daycares, or did you choose to go into an English?
I chose to go to an English daycare because when I worked in the Finnish daycares, it was like My Finnish language is not so good, right? And in the daycares, the children are learning the language. Okay, for Finnish children, it is their mother tongue, so they always know it better than the foreigners. But if there is any other child who is not from Finnish, like a native speaker, and I'm working with that child, so with my Finnish, I'm going to spoil his language development as well. Or that could be like, people may think it is more negative way of thinking, but that is how I felt. And again, to deal with people initially, it was very difficult for me. So I thought maybe English is better, so that I don't have to focus on the language and I can focus on my work more. So, but I have seen people who work in Finnish daycares and their language has improved. So if I had tried a little bit more, maybe I would be an a Finnish daycare too.
Yeah, you spend quite a lot of time with children.
Yes, and it has its plus points, negative points, but I mean, I like to see the positive. It is so versatile. Every day is a different day. We are not just sitting there in front of the laptop doing the same programming and coding. But again, the children are different. Every day they come with a different attitude, a different mood. So it's like a learning every day how to deal situations. And
so how? I mean, what is your typical day like? Like, do you just have to handle kids, or do you have other office work or things like that in your job?
There is a lot of work. So basically, if I tell you the routine, the daily schedule in my daycare, how it was, we started in the morning 7:30. Then we have breakfast for children who come till 8:30, 8:45. So the teachers who come in the morning, they serve the breakfast. Then one teacher does the dishes. So it's not like there is a helper all the time. So we have to take care of the kitchen duties also. So one teacher is with children, one is doing the dishes, and then after breakfast there is a morning. Children have some free play time, and then the teachers can discuss, like if there is something the parents have mentioned about the child, because it's not that parents are going to every teacher and tell. They tell the teacher who is greeting them in the morning. So then we share that information with each other, so that we have everybody is on the same page. Everybody knows, like, okay, this child has something happened at home and he is in a bad mood, or he needs more support today, or we should be more careful handling him or handling that child, things like that. And then at 9 o'clock we have the morning circle. So and all these routines are distributed according to the shifts. So one teacher does the morning circle, and then the other teachers are planning the activities, like setting up the activities. So, and in the morning circle we are talking about the day, the calendar, and what we ask the children, like how was their morning and what happened, things like that. So there are different things that we discuss in the morning circle. It's only the calendar is the thing that we discuss every day. And it is very much fun, because even if we are doing it like we start in August, in November, some children are, it is Sunday today, it is Monday today. So it is very interesting to see how their brain works and analyzes different things. So then after the circle we have our normal activities, and then sometimes children go outside in the morning and they have a circle later. So it is very group specific, but this is the routine. So before and then after the activities there is lunch time, there is a quiet time for children for about, depending on age. So the youngest ones sleep for 2 hours and the oldest ones are like 45 minutes, and we don't force the oldest ones, like preschoolers, to sleep, but they have to rest. And then again in that time the teachers are discussing what happened in their activities and what observations they had from their group, so that everybody knows what is happening. And in the evening when we have to tell the parents about the child's day, it is very useful to know, because parents are so curious. and then we so this is the so in between, after the quiet time, I missed, there is the snack time. So there are snacks, then there is a lot of free play. So depending on the group how it is. So preschoolers have little bit more of planned activities than the other groups. So other groups have more free play because that is what they need for their age. So socializing, developing their emotional skills, social skills. So that is the main focus when we are working with children. It is not only academics, or not only, rather it is never academics. It's like a overall growth of a child, how the child feels, how he is able to express his feelings, how he handles conflict situations. And, yes, and then even eating, some children are very poor at eating, so we cannot force them, but we can encourage them.
And so what does the paperwork consist of for a teacher, early childhood teacher?
We have to write a plan, the paperwork, actually, if I tell you from the very base starting, it is the main plan is like a national curriculum, then is the city curriculum, then is for every daycare, and then in the daycare every child has his own plan, and these are all interconnected with each other. So what we do in the daycare I work for was we make like a group plan. So in that group plan we consider what are the needs of the group. Like, do we have, for this year we have to focus more on their social skills, or this year we have to focus more on their physical abilities, things like that, or emotional skills. And then we make a plan accordingly for half a year, then again the other half of the year. Or at least we try to make that. And then there is the individual plan for each child. So there are these different sections in the plan. For how is his ability to understand the whatever we are talking, like memory, understanding the language. Then there are these different learning areas like languages, multiliteracy, and because now it is so much of IT is going on around the children, they need to understand how to use those devices carefully. And so we try to introduce them to IT. Not that we give them an iPad and let them play. No, we have some activities with them. So even if a small child, like a 3-year-old, if he takes pictures with a camera, with a phone, that is also something from technology that he is learning. So things are very basic, but but we introduce them to them. Not that they are experts after they leave the daycare. Yes, at least they have the first-hand knowledge. This is a camera and this is how I use it. If they are working at the same table, a group of children, how they work together. Because it shouldn't, even if it is an individual activity they have to do, but when you are working at the table, you are with other people there. So does the child disturb others, or is the child like, oh look at me, getting attention? So these are things we need to work on with them. Or there are some children who just sit at the table, they don't do anything, they are just looking what is going on around. So then we have to encourage them to focus or concentrate. So all these things we observe daily with them. And then when we make the plan, we try to mention more of the positive things for the child, because that is the focus of a Finnish education system, like to focus more on the positive growth of the child, to give positive feedback, to make their self-esteem, like boost their self-esteem. But it does not mean that we do not consider the needs of the child. We do, but yes, those are addressed in a different way. We do not go and tell the parents, oh, your child is not doing this, or oh, you have to work with the child at home. No, it is our responsibility to work with that child. We tell the parents, and if there are something that we feel like, this situation or this part of the child's development is out of our capacity to help, then we talk to our pedagogical managers, and then we start making a plan, like a bigger plan, to get help from outside. But to all this, it has to have parents' approval. Yes.
Since you mentioned about this interventions, like how you analyze a child if they have some issues that needs to be concentrated more on. How is the approach? Are you taught early? How do you recognize that problem within the child?
Like when I was like studying in Omnia, we were introduced to some pedagogies.
Okay.
But it wasn't. And then there are this. When you are reading the national curriculum, you know what are the things a child should be able to do.
Okay.
And then, or what are the things that are included in the national curriculum. Like, for example, if it is like multiliteracy. So multiliteracy is with not only technology, it has mathematical skills, it has logical thinking and things like that.
Okay.
So we have that thing in the back of our mind.
Oh.
And then we know, like, for each age there is a development criteria. It doesn't have to be hard and fast, like the child has to be in those criteria. But at an average we know, okay, at 3 years old what a child should be able to do. Or a preschooler. So for a preschooler, if he is not able to cut with the knife and fork properly, then that is something we have to work on. Or for a preschooler, if he is not able to make sentences, then yes, that child has some he needs support with the language. And then we try to find more, like why is this child lagging in that area of development? Is it because there are so many things that affect the child's development? Even now when there are families coming to Finland, it is a very different culture for a child. Even as adults we find it so different. So when imagine yourself like in the child's position, like oh yes, now this is he doesn't see the family, he doesn't meet his normal friends, the weather is so different here, so what do you say? Give me the words now. It is so extreme. And the clothing is different. The language again for that child. If he's coming, for example, I'm from Maharashtra. So if he's coming from Maharashtra, he's used to Marathi around him. So now he has to express himself in English. So that is a very big thing. Or even sometimes how the houses are here. Like we cannot open the windows all the time. The floor is different. So all these things as for adults we do not consider them, or okay, we can handle those things easily. But for a child it is a drastic change. And that can affect one of his, maybe if for example he is coming from India, in India he is doing very well. But because of this sudden change, they need some time to open up, to adjust. So it doesn't mean always like when we tell the parents like, okay, we observe that your child is lagging with language. It doesn't mean like, oh, now my child needs support, or my child is going to be tagged everywhere. No, it is our observation. And we always say like, we cannot give any tags to the child. We are not ones to diagnose anything for the child. We can only mention it to the parents. We can make a plan for the child, which goes to the nevola. Then the nurse diagnoses the same, like she checks the same things for the child, and then only if the nurse agrees, if the doctors agree, then it goes ahead. It is nothing that we decide or we tell. We give our observations, but that too never, like when we are working as the child carers or teachers. It is not us who will go and tell the parents. We first have to, if I notice something with a child, I have to talk with my colleagues first. If they also agree, we talk to our managers. If the managers also agree, then we talk to we tell the parents also. And if the parents agree, then everything goes ahead. But and I have seen the parents should also have a little bit of an open mind when your daycare teacher or someone is telling you an issue about your child. Like we always want good for those children. And in Finland we have all this support system. So it is always a good thing that you at least take the first step. If you don't want to go ahead, it's their decision. We cannot force them. But when some parents say like, oh no, we cannot, we don't believe this, or we do not trust you, then it is something like we can't help the child
Yeah.
in a better way. I mean, we can help him in our own restrictions,
Yes.
but to get better help, we need parents' consent. So
More support.
Yes,
Like, yes.
yes.
So when do you involve social services into the child's issues?
what we have the knowledge about is that even if somebody tells, like, if teachers see that a child is not behaving normally or there is something different in the child's behavior, our first step is to talk to the parents. And if we see like nothing is changing, the child is still having, we feel like, okay, his behavior is not normal or how it used to be.
Okay.
The child is scared or the child is more aggressive. There are some marks on the child's body or some things
Okay.
like that. So, and it always doesn't have to be physical.
Can be behavioral.
Behavioral
Yeah.
issues also. So we talk to the parents. If nothing happens, then as I said, there is this process.
Yeah.
And if we feel like, okay, no, this child needs some help, there is something wrong, then the daycares approach this social service. And the social service doesn't mean like, okay, you call them and then the same evening they come and take your child away. No, it's not. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
They also like analyze what is going on. There are workers who go to the child's home, they visit the family, they see what is going on in the family. And sometimes there can be cultural differences. Like these people do not understand certain things, how different families work.
Yes.
Or different cultures work, and we do not understand their system much
Yes.
better. So like I said, it's always good to have open mind, no prejudices against the system, because it will not help you.
Yeah.
And again, it is unless and until they feel like, okay, now this child's life is in danger, they do not take the child away. That is what I have heard, and that is what we have been told.
Okay.
So there could be different experiences with different people and things like that. I do not deny that,
Yeah.
and I do not deny that sometimes even they could be wrong as well.
Okay.
But the process should be like this, or
Okay.
at least we have been told that it should be like this.
Okay.
And for us, when we work in a daycare, it's not against the family or against the parents when we make a complaint to the social, or when we involve the social services in this. It is for the child's benefit, and it is one of our duties in the law that we should mention such things to the social services.
Yeah.
So, and if we don't, and if the child is in trouble, it is us who will be in
Yes.
trouble. So it's nothing against the families or against a certain culture. No.
Yes. What is the technique that is followed here in Finland? The teaching technique, just like we have Montessori and other syllabuses in India.
There are many different daycares. Like there are this Montessori, Reggio Emilia, Steiner, and others I don't remember right now. But not specifically each daycare will pick a method,
Okay.
and then they will follow it. No, there are Montessori daycares who follow only Montessori
Okay.
way of teaching. There are Steiner daycares who follow the Steiner way. But like in the daycare I worked with, it wasn't any specific thing.
Okay.
It was more like child-oriented activities. We ask the children what they want to learn, and then we build up activities on that theme. And then in those activities, everything is included: their language, their math skills, their logical thinking, and their physical. Even for gym, then we attach it to the same theme.
Yeah.
So it is like, but like overall, Finnish education system, it is more like child oriented.
Yeah.
The children come up with things that they want to learn, and then the teachers plan activities, or the teachers give them support to learn that topic.
Okay. So, personally, from all these experiences, like your personal experience with your child and your experience as a daycare teacher, do you think Finnish daycares are better than the English ones, or
English ones, you mean
the
Indian
English?
ones?
The English daycares.
I don't know. I don't have much experience with the Finnish daycare, so I really cannot compare them.
Okay.
But I do feel like Finnish daycares get more support from the city than the English private daycare.
Okay.
because of the language, because I don't know the real reason why it is, and I do feel like that is not how it should be. If it is a daycare, all the daycare should get the equal support. And but otherwise, teaching ways and things, I really cannot comment on it because I don't have much knowledge about Finnish daycares.
I've seen that children are taken outside every day, even if it is minus 15 and all. So is there like a lot of importance given to the physical activity? Is it mandatory that
it is mandatory, and it has been seen like children who are more physically active are more like their cognitive development is much better. So, and also imagine like 8 hours in the same room without in Finland when the windows are so closed, the children need fresh air, and inside they cannot run, they cannot scream, and they need all those things for their growth, for their daily routine. So taking them outside is mandatory for us. How much ever we don't like it, rather because we are foreigners, we are not used to the weather so much. Even after living here for so long, when it is very cold or very windy, it's not a good thing to stand there. So we also try to move around with the kids, but kids enjoy it. They really enjoy any weather, even if it is rainy and muddy. They are rolling there. They are having fun, and that is what we want. They need a break from the closed rooms. They need to scream. They need to run around, and it is good because there are days like when it is very cold or when it is stormy. Then we do not take the kids out. So because it is for their safety. So and in those days we can see like the group gets like overly hyper. They are not listening, and they do not get that energy out of them. So then it becomes more difficult to manage them inside, and then we feel like rather we take them out and let them run and do whatever they want. So, but yes, it is a very demanding job, I will say, physically, mentally. Even if the children are out, the teachers have to be alert all the time because you do not know what a child will do. So they are very unpredictable. So and even though like I remember when I go home, I'm so drained out, there is no energy. I don't feel like anybody should talk with me. But again, the next day is a new day. And once the children start coming in, we tend to forget all that stress from the previous day. So end of the year it builds up. But yes, as long as you enjoy the job,
bond with you and the kids, personally. So I know like you do enjoy the. So this was Prajakta Sule sharing her experience with early childhood education. Thank you, Prajakta, for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.